Majamaa mimi wamenibulanda. Pale Malava, pale na Rafi ilichezwa. Pale Farouk, akayuko mwezi mzima mjamaa. Alafu timu gani watu wangeshinda rahisi. Uko na kuna Rafi ilichezwa. Nyinyi mkiza matawe, ule labda kwa mahesabu zake huko chini. Ile Rafi imepigwa pale Malava. Pale ni bulanda mjamaa. 27 watu wajipange mjamaa. Majamaa mimi wamenibulanda. Hizi belo zimefanyika. Hizi ni learning lessons. Sana kwa watu wako nini opposition iko hivi. Chama inafaa kuwa na structure na mko umejipanga kitu hiko. Hamwezi kuenda kwa elections na hata hamna tallying center. Mtaibiwa. Watu machama zijipange mjamaa. 2027 wizi itakuwa juu kama watu watajipanga. Bulanda.
Some more celebrating, but victory for what? Is it worth it? For us, I think from our side of the opposition in Malava, we spent less than 5 million shares. And we still got the same number of votes today. With the current candidate, where they spend millions of shillings, they bribed voter, they gave out bills, they gave out rice, they gave out appointment letters, they gave out money. It was basically a draw. So from where we sit, actually our people in Malava showed a lot of commitment, a lot of patriotism. They came out in large numbers and actually voted for us. It's a shame to the government that you can spend such resources and still run around the bracket that you won, yet basically you have lost. Actually, why not for bribing people who are already in the queue? Because we told people to come out and vote. But they tell people in the queues and change their minds on the queues. If you are given 500 shillings, and with the levels of poverty we have in this part of the world, people will change their mind just because of the money. So remove all these other inducements. Let the playing field be level and see if they can raise those 20,000 votes in Malava. They would.
Give me my guessing.
Bomas is just purely a crime scene. It is where somebody who wants to interfere with the elections gets a bird's eye view. It's a filter. That I have seen what the returning officers at the constituency have announced. I want to interfere. I want to know where I need to top up. I want to know where to bridge. So what they do, they tell the media, don't make any announcements of what the arrows at the constituencies have done. Come to Bomas to receive your feeds. Then how do they do it? This is how they do it. Bomas at 5 or 7 p.m. in the evening, which number one is impractical. If polling closes at 5, by the time you do the closing procedures of an election, closing procedures simply means you take note of all the ballots which were issued, look at the ballots which were retained, and you fill all those forms, you seal the boxes, you rearrange the polling station now to become a counting station. It is practically impossible to conclude that process and issue results by 5 or 7 p.m. Impossible. But we witnessed in 2017, at 5 or 7 p.m., 7 minutes after the close of polling, IEBC at Bomas start showing you at the National Tallying Center polling stations giving results in favor of Uhuru Kenyatta. Right? Then, before you know it, they are releasing some polling station from Marsabit. Before you pay attention, there's a releasing one from Baringo, there's one from Kisumu. So they are jumbled up. So the whole nation is now at a loss because they are throwing at you polling station results from all over the country. You don't know which constituents they come from. You cannot keep track. 99.9% of Kenyans have never heard even the names of those polling stations. And that is how they end up even having the so-called fake polling stations. Because we don't know them. Nobody can keep track. Nobody knows the polling stations by names. If somebody just tells you even polling station, Urgade's polling station,
you say, okay, fine.
Stream polling station 8 of 12. Maybe there's even no 8. It's up to 7. No one knows. But at the constituency level, we keep track. So what they do at Bomas is this. They take over the sovereignty of the people at Bomas. Whatever we did at the polling stations and whatever we did at the constituency levels is ignored.
Essentially, it's rubbished.
It's rubbished. Now, at the National Tallying Center, they have a bird's eye view. They know what their favored candidate has received. They know how much they need to top up. And they are the ones who are controlling the information flow. And when they control the information flow, they'll determine what they're feeding the people of Kenya.
And only for the presidential election.
That is where the mischief is.
So, Willis, I just want to look at the counting of the votes, right? And correct me if I'm wrong, but the counting starts with the presidential vote.
Yes.
That means even before we get to the member of National Assembly or the governor, we already know who has won a specific polling station as the president. We go to the constituency, it is the president's vote which is always received first. Now, at that point, with all the 290 constituencies in the country, one would say, by the time we are sitting at Bomas with enjoying the choir and China Mandazi, we already know what the results are.
Back put it this way, Dennis. Every polling station should have at maximum 700 registered voters. Maximum. Polling ends in Kenya at 5 p.m. On election day. Give or take, you take 1 hour to do the closing procedures. Give or take. Then, after the close, so it means by 6 p.m., the closing procedures have been done. Then give or take that I'm giving you 1 hour to just count 1 to 700. Even if we start counting now 1 to 700, it will not take us 10 minutes.
Yes.
But out of abundance of caution, give it 1 hour. So it means, then I'll say, give an extra 1 hour. Just for any contingencies that you may not have foreseen. By 8 p.m. of elections night, by 8 p.m. of elections night, somebody somewhere knows the results of the elections, because there is no polling station in the whole country that is still counting presidential election results.
Okay, so Willis, this is interesting because it's also necessary that we realize that as we have these conversations, that there are many a Kenyan, that we don't even know the number of votes that can be cast at any polling station. We don't know that, that you can't exceed a certain number, that you can't say that 10,000 people voted here. It doesn't happen. So just like you said, 700. If we count from now to 700, from 1 to 700, like you said, will be done in 10 minutes. So other people, 1,000 other people, 1,400 and I think it's 80 other people can be doing the same thing, and we would be done in 10 minutes, right?
Yes.
Simultaneous counting. If we know that it closes at 5 and at 5 o'clock we begin to make this computation, we can actually be done in 3 hours around the country, right?
Yes.
In terms of counting.
Yes.
But we've clouded this thing in mystery. Are you saying essentially that because we've drawn it out and said, okay, that is the time that then mischief starts to take root?
Exactly. It is a system designed for mischief. That's the principal design of that system. If we left it as envisaged in the Constitution, that let the constituency, as provided the Constitution, be the center of the presidential elections, then the people in that constituency are all able to know and follow up on the polling stations in that particular constituency.
Okay. We may be confusing people just a little bit, Willis, here. So let's just take a step, we've taken a few steps back, right? So when we go and we talk about the constituency, essentially we are saying that all the polling stations that happen in a particular area, the constituency, which also is a polling station, but
Center.
then is the center now.
Area.
It's like the headquarters.
Yes.
It's like the headquarters of this region where the election took place, where the voting took place. So all of that will come to, and because you already have 290 constituencies in the country, it was easy to then pinpoint that Westlands constituency is a center, that you will say that Embakasi is a center, and that you will say that Langata is a center. So all of these, the 290 will now bring their results, and that will all be tallied and will say these are the results. But the constituency essentially is the headquarters of this area, and that's why it's called a polling center. And because you already are demarcated, we use the constituency because it's already there.
Yes.
Okay. Now, if we know this and it is clear, and IEBC being a constitutional body, if they have this fundamental understanding that this collation has already happened in 290 headquarters, as it were, and it is final, according to the law, it's final, why wouldn't they be very ready, even with a new IBC, why wouldn't they be very ready to say, you know what, scrap this thing? We wouldn't need Okeyo Mtata to come and say, come on, guys, you don't need to count anymore. Why wouldn't they just come and say, you know what, remove the thing?
The constitution is clear.
Yes.
I have to take you back a little.
Okay.
When I was arguing my Nakiai case in the High Court, IBC was the respondent. Our petition was about interpreting the constitution and giving effect to Article 138. You know, IBC was opposing it.
Opposing what?
That polling station results are final. We'll start from that. IBC, we are telling the court that our reading of the constitution, polling station results are final. And presidential elections are constituency-based, not national.
Yes.
IBC was in court saying polling stations results cannot be final. As IBC, we have a duty to relook into them, to recheck them. And we are saying that is not your duty. That's the duty of the court, if anybody is disputing.
Yes.
So that's the mindset.
But
and
who
for your information,
but who conducts the election all the way from the beginning? Is it not IBC?
No, in their mind, understand it this way.
Yeah.
In their mind, by the way, they don't consider the presiding officer
as
to
IBC.
be IBC.
Who is
they
it?
don't consider the returning officer at the constituency to be IBC. To them, IBC
is the commissioners.
Are those 7 people who are sitting in Nairobi. That is what their mindset is. They think they are their commission. They don't even think that when the elections are being conducted at the constituency level, that returning officer is IBC. That presiding officer, that clerk is IBC.
It is, and it's an IBC.
Ati black chocolate ni fine melanin bana kutoka nikapate. Kanapenda kenye mi wanapenda, so kanapenda toto chupa na haga nono.
Madam na kudai umedunga mini na unapenda mangwai, una dance fit unawacha nikismile ama niko high jua life nice.